Hey YouTubers, I'm Jacob. This is a how-to video for changing out the Y pipe and gasket if you've got any kind of coolant leaks on a 2015 F150 with a 5.0 liter V8. This applies from 2011 all the way to 2021. I think the 20 to 21 trucks are a little bit different, but it's the same concept. If you've got a coolant leak, this is a very common failure point. It's pretty easy to change it out. I've included the links to all the products and tools I'm using in the description below, so make sure to click on those and check them out. I'm posting weekly videos for you guys, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel and follow along. All right, let's get into it. If you've been experiencing any kind of coolant leaks, small amounts of coolant you notice either on the driveway or your garage, it could be this Y pipe. It's a common failure point with these quick connects. The gaskets in them go bad or the connections simply go bad. Over time, also the rubber piping can become brittle and leak as well. Now, I'm only going to replace the portion that's leaking today, and this will solve two of those quick connect portions. One of them's got the gasket in it along with the Y pipe, and then we've got a new gasket for the main connection going to the radiator. We will need to drain down the radiator, and I've gone ahead and connected a hose to the bottom of the radiator so that it's easier to drain down into my pan here, and that way we can just open it up with a flathead screwdriver. So it should make it a little bit cleaner. If you haven't noticed, my grill is taken off currently. You don't have to do this for this project. This was another fix that I had to do. I had to put a new hose on my transmission cooler here because the inline filter that I put in was starting to leak. So I had to eliminate that, put in a new hose connection. And that's why my grill is off. It's not really necessary for this project, but I did notice just because of my road armor bumper sticks out quite a bit with the winch, it will make it a lot easier for me to actually stand up here on top of the bumper because the truck does have a 3-inch lift, bigger tires, and with the bumper, it's really hard to actually get back to where we're going to be working. If you don't have an aftermarket bumper, you don't have to remove the grill or the bumper or anything. I'm sure just a step ladder would help kind of get up and over, because you will have to work over this reservoir, and while it's draining down, you can go ahead and remove this intake pipe.
Got our throttle body off, clip off. So here's our Y pipe. Finally able to get to it. There is a clamp here. We'll need to pull this clamp off, pull it back. It's gonna be really tough to get off of here, so I'm just gonna cut it since we're replacing this whole section of pipe. But before we do that, we're gonna use this little clip here. Pull this down, slide this metal down, and this quick disconnect will pull it out. There will be a little bit of residual fluid in here. It's recommended to take the belts off. I personally don't really think it's necessary, so I'm just gonna cover this with some plastic down below so it doesn't make our belts all squeaky from getting coolant on it. Just hold it up high and it should just drain out through the radiator. And we're gonna replace the gasket that is on this hose. And that same style connector is on the other side here where the thermostat is. We'll pull that one out. By the white, it's actually already pressed down. It's really flattened out in here, and it's right behind this. That's where that gasket is. That's how flat it is compared to, which is round, much more supple. So just start at one end and kind of work your way around once you get it in the groove. Okay, I got it seated in there, and you can actually see it's sticking out just a little bit. That gasket's been replaced. Go ahead and set this down. It's already drained out. I held it up to drain it out. Okay, now we want to pull the spring lock off on this side. And I'm just using a hook, or a pick and hook set for this. There we go. Now time to release this. I'm going to score this so I can pull it off. Wow, a lot of corrosion around this. Now down in here you can see all that scaling on there. You want to clean that up. You can use Scotch-Brite, shop towels, even a stiff bristle brush just to kind of knock it down. Same thing for this connection here. All right, so I'm cleaning up my throttle body. I'm going to use some CRC. It's just really dirty, and you should just be able to spray it down here. Clean this off. Should help with MPGs and a little bit of horsepower too. So let's get her cleaned up. You want to make sure this is disconnected from the vehicle when you do this. Looks a lot better than it did. Still a little bit in the corners, but what can you do? I don't think you really want to rotate these, so it could damage the internal parts there. But just a little bit on that top edge. Just a little lift. Let this sit. Make sure it's lined up too with your thermostat housing, so get rid of that. There's a little metal stop, so we'll go all the way back to that stop. Pipe on there. Oh, it actually has new metal wire on here. Let's go ahead and pull this off. Slide it back on once we get it in place. Just leave it like that. Alright, so all the way on. And slide the wire up. Boom, it's locked in. Let's go ahead and connect this one here. Double checking I got my O-ring on there. Slide it over. All right, it's clipped up into place. Now that those are on, let's release our connection at the top here. Just gotta have just the right touch. Make sure you press that red tab. I'm just gonna set it on here.
Double check and make sure you remove the paper towel from the intake manifold before reinstalling the throttle body. This is very important.
So now it's really important to close off the bottom of the radiator, pull your hose off. So now I'm going to top it off with coolant, and it should take about 2 gallons for the radiator and the reservoir here. You fill it up until you hit the minimum maximum line where it shows it like right at the seam of this, and drive it around and then check it again, because sometimes there could be air pockets in there and it might settle down.
Thank you for watching this how-to video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash down the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. I'm posting weekly videos on my 2015 F150, my 1979 Ford Bronco, so make sure to subscribe to the channel to follow along. As always, I've included links to all the products and tools I used today in the description below, so make sure to click on those and check them out. Thanks for watching.